motherfucker, please. America never taught me to turn the other cheek. Cause I'm from Harlem, the north of Manhattan. We knock niggas out and make them bounce like Ricky Hatton.
Yo, what's up, boxing world? The 13th round with Freddylokz here to talk about yesterday's fights. We had Michael Katsidis with the unanimous decision victory over, actually it was a split decision, unanimous in my eyes, but you know, some judges seem a bit blind at times. But anyways, we also had Crazy John with another beautiful performance. This time the scorecards were right. Unanimous decision for him, mad props for him. And the fight of the night was pretty boy Floyd Mayweather versus Juan Manuel Marquez. And I'm not really surprised that he won. I'm just surprised at the masterful performance he put on. I mean, here we had two master counter punchers, you know, one more aggressive than the other, which is Marquez, but you know, Floyd Mayweather just controlled him from round 1 to round 12, man. I mean, I didn't even see a piece of one round that I could have gave to him, man. I mean, Mayweather completely dominated from beginning to end. And I mean, yeah, the weight, I guess, was a little issue, but you know what? I said it when it first got signed. Juan Manuel Marquez signed to make it at 140 plus pounds, so you know, there's really no excuses, man. I mean, sure, there's a difference, but I mean, Mayweather's been at welterweight for a couple years now. Marquez barely moved up to lightweight, you know, last year. So I mean, I guess you can say what you want, man, but my take on this is that you can't take away from what Mayweather did. You know what I mean? Mayweather dissected him and picked him apart, man, and that's something that nobody has ever done to Marquez. And I was impressed. I was really impressed with this. I hope this leads to a great fight, you know, with the real welterweight. You know what I mean? Maybe Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto. Honestly, I don't want to see the Pacquiao fight. I think Mayweather will beat the living shit out of Pacquiao, man. And I don't see what Pacquiao has that can even trouble Mayweather. I mean, you can say speed, but those lightning fast jabs and straight rights from Mayweather will easily neutralize that, I think. You know what I mean? So I would like to see him in there with someone that probably could impose a physical threat. You know what I mean? We know skill for skill. I don't think anybody's going to match him even at 154. So I want to see him in there with someone that could impose a physical threat with an iron chin. You know what I mean? And then you think about Mosley, you think about the Cottos, and those are the names that really get my attention. And if everybody is kind of busy at the moment, I wouldn't even mind seeing them in there with an Andre Berto type opponent, you know what I mean, in a couple of months, you know. But I mean, that's going to be up to his team, but this is just what I would want as a boxing fan, you know what I mean. And just here to congratulate Mayweather, man, on a beautiful, masterful performance. A lot of controversy surrounding this fight, but I'm not going to get into it, you know what I mean. I mean, the biggest thing was the weight, but like I said, Marquez signed. There was an obvious showing in Marquez's performance that he just couldn't handle it. But hey, you know what I mean? Nobody's ever dominated him like that, and Mayweather did. You know, Mayweather dominated him like that. And for the people saying that there's absolutely no difference, and Mayweather started at light as a featherweight too, you know, there's a big difference, because Mayweather has been at welterweight for a long time now. You know what I mean? Would you like to see Ival Calderon versus Manny Pacquiao at 130 if it's possible? I mean, no. You know what I mean? It takes time for a fighter to move up in weight and do it right. But in this case, you can make a little excuse if you like. I'm not going to choose to. I'm just choosing to clear some things up that were brought up to my attention, you know, regarding some other fighters in the fight, whatever. Anyways, congratulations to Mayweather. It was a beautiful performance. I'm very pleased with the way he handled the interview, the way he handled the conference afterwards. You know, a lot of respect for me, Mayweather. A lot of respect, man. And Michael Katsidis, he looked pretty good, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys have followed him throughout his career. I've seen his last couple of fights, maybe about going back like 3 years maybe, and to me it seemed like he picked up some defense, and that's going to be pretty hard for anybody he faces, because not only does he slug it out and he has a pretty good chin, now he has his hands up and his elbows tucked in pretty nice too. So I'm really excited to see him in there now with the lightweights that are in there right now. I wouldn't even mind seeing him with Marquez, man. I mean, Marquez has to make that title defense. I mean, that'd be a really good fight in my opinion, you know what I mean? And hopefully he can get that fight going, man. I mean, Marquez really has no career over 140 personally, I think, you know what I mean? So I would love to see that fight. And as far as a Chris John versus Juarez, man, Juarez is the kind of fighter that when he's fighting, you wish it was a video game so you can control what he does. I mean, this guy is too patient, man. This is like his 5th title shot, and he couldn't kick into gear, man. And he's a great, powerful counter puncher, but that's pretty much about it. You know what I mean? He lacks in the pressure department. He lacks in a lot of other departments. And I think in order for him to become champ one day, if he does get another chance, it's going to be against a come forward type of fighter who really is going to be there to slug it out with him, you know what I mean? And it was a pretty good fight. It was an exciting fight. I'm happy that Chris John finally got his decision. I thought his last fight with him was an easy 7-5, 8-4 victory for him, but it was in Texas, so I mean, it's understandable, I guess, that they saw a draw. You know, Rocky Juarez started coming in late in the fight, kind of how he did this time, but this time he came in way too late, like in the 11th, 12th, but that was too late by then. I think I gave Juarez maybe 2 or 3 rounds, you know what I mean? It was a bad night for Mexicans, you know what I mean? I mean, all the Mexicans on the card, Mexican Independence Weekend, and I think maybe combined with Escobedo, Juarez, and Marquez, maybe won a total of 6 rounds all together, you know what I mean? And I mean, it was a good night for boxing, though. A lot of questions were answered, and I hope now that we go in the direction now that we should go, which is Mayweather with real welterweight, and Catidis, Marquez, and Chris John, man. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there right now. 126, that division is pretty much still open. You know, we got a lot of names out there for him, and I can't wait to see him back in there, man. And one thing I want to touch on too, man, is the HBO commentators, man. I mean, again, you know what I mean? These commentators are doing an awful job at commentating fights. They're not commentating fights, they're cheerleading. You know? Yeah, I mean, it's obvious to us. We know who's winning. You know what I mean? So why make it a boring night of commentating and just stick to that fighter and ignore what the other fighters do and trying to do? You know, you guys gotta commentate, man. You guys gotta be colorful. You guys gotta make it exciting for us. You know what I mean? And Max Kellerman needs to get the fuck off that fucking network, man. Nobody pays to see you, Max. Nobody gives a shit what you gotta say, Max. You know, I liked you better when I didn't know you. You know what I mean? Just go back to football, basketball, I mean, whatever you're doing before, because boxing obviously ain't your sport, man. And I think you took away from us fans yesterday something that it's been missing for so long, and that's that excitement. You know, Hopkins, Mosley, and Mayweather weren't gonna come to blows. They just wanted to talk, man. And I think if you would have even let it go on for another minute, that probably would have made Mosley and Mayweather start building up some bad blood and hopefully getting that fight soon, man. But you know, thanks to you and your sorry ways of interviewing and commentating, it didn't happen. You know what I mean? You look like a fucking deer in headlights in there. You know, you look scared as shit. You don't know how to do your job. You know what I mean? So I just hope they fire your ass, man. But on that note, much love to Eastside Boxing, Late Low. All my supporters on YouTube, Max Boxing, man. If you guys got any questions, feel free to email them. I didn't get to questions this time around because I'm on my way to go see my boys whoop the Giants. So I'll get to some questions next week, man. Your boys out. Peace.